Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Today we'll be starting the first video in the Arabic alphabets course. Now before I start this course, I'd like to make it very clear that this course is not meant for people who already know the Arabic alphabets and know how to pronounce them nicely. This course will be focusing on the pronunciation of the alphabets. So if you already know that, then do not watch this video. This video is only for the new beginners who have no clue what Arabic alphabets are and want to know how to pronounce them nicely. So with that said, let's start our introduction video. Before we read the Arabic alphabets, there are some important rules that we need to know. First rule is that Arabic is read from right to left. Now, we in English read from left to right. So we first read Arabic and then we read like this. But in Arabic, it is right to left. So first we read the right word and then we read the left word. So if I have to write a small word like this, so this is Baitun. Baitun is called Baitun because first the Arabic letter Ba comes and then the Ta comes. It's not like the Ta is coming first and then the Ba is coming. The Ba on the right will be pronounced first and the Ta will be pronounced second because on the left. So Ba, Ta, Baitun. Right, left. This is how Arabic will be pronounced. In English, it is left to right, but Arabic, it's right to left. The second thing to be noticed is that in Arabic, there are 29 letters. In English, there are only 26, but in Arabic, there are 29, so that's 3 more. Then, we should know that there is no such thing as capital letters or small letters in Arabic. So in English, we have A, there's one capital letter, and then there's one small letter of A. But in Arabic, there is only alif and ba, so there is no capital or small. They look the same in every kind of situation. So alif, ba, ta, sa, they are the same. There is nothing like capital or small in Arabic. Now, fourth thing is there is no such thing as printing versus handwriting or cursive. So in English, when we write any word, for example, if we write bat, we have a cursive handwriting way, which is bad, and it looks something like this. And then we have the printing version, which is not cursive, and it is block letters, and it looks like this, bat. Now, in Arabic, whether you print it or you write it, it will look the same way. So, baitun will look like this, whether I write it with handwriting or I type it. With that said, let's move on and learn the Arabic alphabets. So we have finally come to the Arabic alphabets. This alphabet are very easy to learn, but the hardest part is pronunciation. In Arabic, pronunciation is extremely important because if you make a mistake in pronunciation, the word will mean something else than what you want it to mean. So I suggest you watch this part of the video again and again for you to become more familiar with the word, with the letters. And in the upcoming videos, I will be showing you how to pronounce them yourself so that you can pronounce them much nicely and more clearly. So let us start. I'll be reading the letters 2 times for you to learn. Alif, ba, ta, fa, jim, ha, خ دال ذال را زا سين شين صاد ضاد طا ظا عين غين فا قاف كاف لام ميم نون واو ها Hamza, ya. Once again, alif, ba, ta, fa, jim, ha, kha, dal, zal, ro, za, sin, shin, صاد ضاد طا ظا عين غين فا قاف كاف لام ميم نون واو ha hamza ya. So I hope now you have a clear idea on how this word should be pronounced, and in the upcoming videos inshallah you will be able to pronounce them yourself. Now another important concept about English alphabets are that there are consonants and then there are vowels, and vowels are a part of those alphabets. So if there are 26 alphabets in English, that means 5 of them are vowels and 21 of them are consonants. But in Arabic there is no such thing as that. All the 29 letters that we learned on the previous page are consonants. They are vowels, but they are not the part of the alphabets. They will be discussed later. So, the 29 letters of Arabic are consonants. Vowels are not part of the alphabet in Arabic. They will be talked about later and we will be discussing about them in more depth in other lectures. All you need to know now is that 29 letters are consonants and none of them are vowels in Arabic. Now, let us look at the forms of an alphabet. A letter in Arabic language has 4 forms. 4 forms based on the place where they are found. So if you write the letter by itself, it looks different. And this is also called the original form of the letter. So the way you write the letter by itself is the original form of the letter. And when it comes at the beginning of the word, the original form changes to a slightly different form. And at the middle, it changes even more. And the end of the word, sometimes it changes and sometimes we see that it remains the same. So let us see this with an example. So this is alif and this is ba. We saw these letters in the previous slide and they were the original form. They are by itself, which means they are the original form. Then it comes at the beginning of the word like this. Alif remains the same, but ba changes a little bit. And then at the middle, alif changes even more, and ba also changes a bit more. So you can see that how they're changing. And then at the end, we see in this case that alif and ba remain the same. Now sometimes the end of the word, sometimes they remain the same as the original form, and sometimes they change. Most of the time at the end of the word, we see that it remains the same as its original form. So if we want to do this once again, we'll see that a letter in Arabic has 4 forms. When you write the letter by itself, it remains like this and it is also called the original form. The letter written by itself is called the original form. At the beginning of the word, this original form changes slightly. At the middle, it changes even more. And this is different for each letter. You need to learn about each letter, which we will learn in the detail in other classes. But in each letter, the beginning and the middle look different. So we will learn about them in later lectures. But you need to keep this in mind now. Now at the middle of the letter, we see that the ba changes even more and alif changes a lot. Alif is not looking like this much. It changes more. So in the middle, usually the letter changes a lot more than the beginning. And then at the end, we see that it remains the same in this case. Again, I tell you that at the end, it sometimes changes and sometimes remains the same. So it depends on the word. Each word has its own specific original form, beginning of the word form, middle of the word form, and the end of the word form. I have just taken 2 examples, but in the later lectures, you will learn a lot more about each of the letters. Now, with this, we will conclude our first class. Hope this video was extremely beneficial for you and you learned a lot more than you were expecting about the Arabic language. Stay tuned for the following lectures and be sure to subscribe and share my channel. Thank you.